Good morning. Welcome to your Tuesday morning yoga class on Veterans Day, November 11th. So, today we are going to potentially slow down a little bit, have a little more yin poses in between the getting moving. So that means that let's start in a different position today. Instead of cross-legged, let's start kneeling but with support. So you can sit back kind of between your heels if you have that much flexibility in the knee joint, or you can put the block in there at whichever angle or blocks to give yourself a little support in this position. Once you get your blocks situated, you can also use a bolster or a pillow or whatever makes it comfortable, or you can sit cross-legged. Before we start our asana practice, as usual, we settle in. We take the time to arrive. To connect our mind and body, yoking them together and letting both settle. As we find stillness in our movement, we also let the mind begin to still. The mind that's constantly bubbling thoughts, real and imagined, just say, it's okay. The thoughts bubble, just let them go by. You don't need to attach or cling on to any of them. Maybe you want to take your mind to a beautiful location, maybe that you've been to or imagined. And begin to breathe. Letting the beauty and the magic of that place soak in. Staying present in that place with this breath, letting all the rest go. So this way we learn to use the mind for good, to serve us, to calm us, to find peace and joy. I'll read our poem for today. It's appropriate for this beautiful fall day, called Blown Gold. Maple trees and wind are blown gold. Their radiant, rustling nature shouting change. The great transformation is upon them, and there's no going back to the green days of spring. There's only forward motion now, and yet there's neither resignation nor sadness in these leaves. They make such a celebration of their turning, burning with color and fervor. One last yes to life before the final letting go. Meditating on the changing leaves, the brilliant colors, and their ability to let go. Accepting the circles and cycles of life. Cycles of seasons, and the cycle of every single breath. to start our practice with those 3 breaths together. We inhale and gently exhale like we're blowing out a candle. Again, inhale and exhale. One more time, we inhale and exhale. And with that next inhale, we're going to inhale and bring our hands to our chest as we open our eyes. Inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to interlace our fingers and push our palms forward as we make our back into the shape of a cat. And then inhale, hand to heart. A little lift of the chest and exhale again. Letting it go. So that inhale, bringing in what we need, and exhale. You can find your own rhythm. You'll notice the spine just naturally wants to get involved, which lets the head and spine get involved. Last one. And meet me with hands on chest. Let those eyes close again. And breathe in that peace. And go ahead and lift your hips and move your blocks and bring yourself to all fours. Putting wrists under elbows, under shoulders, knees under hips, we come into that balanced position, tops of the feet on the mat. We inhale, looking up. That same movement we just did. But this time, energize those palms as you push them into the mat, rounding the back, tucking the tail. Inhale, dropping the belly, lifting the tail. And see how much mobility you can find here. Keeping the palms and the tops of the feet activated, pushing into the mat. And back to neutral spine. Maybe a little hip wiggle side to side. Some circles, some spinal undulation to wake up the rest of that spine. We're going to go ahead and tuck those toes and lift our hips to the sky. This is not work. And find your first downward dog. There's a reason yogis don't wear hoodies. Because they fall in your face. You stay in downward dog while I take off that hoodie to see if that helps. Although I have another loose shirt on. That'll be better. So bend and stretch. Walk the dog. And then really glue your heels down. Head down. Upper arms by ears. Lift all 10 toes and set them down. Then lift 8 toes and push the big toes in and set them down. Push the 8 toes into the mat and lift the big toes and set them down. And then alternate between those two on your own. Little toe yoga. One more time each way like that. Then we're going to level up by lifting the right big toe and the 4 toes on the left foot. Then switch Lifting the left big toe and the four toes on the right foot. And alternate that. Woo. Good job. When we do these cross lateral movements, it's really good for our brain. And then set them all down. Look up between your thumbs and walk your feet to that spot. Bend the knees, shake out the head, and come into your first forward fold. Hanging here, taking the time to let the weight of the head create some space between those vertebrae. And we're going to reverse swan dive. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, we're going to push our palms down in front of our body. Inhale, turn the palms up and come up to the shoulders. And then we're going to exhale, push it out. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, forward fold, prayer through the center. Inhale, reverse swan dive, hands up. Palms face down. Exhale. Inhale, halfway to the collarbones. Exhale, push the hands out. Inhale, both hands up. This time we look up. Exhale, prayer through center, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan. Turn the palms down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, palms out. Inhale, hands up. Prayer through the center, forward fold. Reverse swan, inhale up. Palms down. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands up. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, prayer through the center. And hold back to your forward fold. So we can turn that breath into a prayer with arm movements, combining that hands, that movement and breath. Here we're just going to come up halfway, flat back, and forward fold. One more time like that, halfway, forward fold. This time hands to the mat and step back to your first plank. Now we're not going to do that many chaturangas in this practice. So let's just hold here and enjoy this plank. Feeling our strength. You can always put your knees down. Such a powerful pose. Activating that core. Building strength in the shoulders, the arms, and the core. Back of the legs are engaged. And then we're going to slowly lower, roll into the earth. Keep those hands where they are. Release the tops of the feet and roll up. And roll down. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, roll down. Use those back muscles one more time. Inhale up. Elbows tuck back and hold. And down. Push up through all fours and reach those hips back for child. Arms are stretched out forward. Then shift the weight forward, but drop the hips and lift the feet for swan. Open the heart. So this is a variation on up dog, and then back down to child. So find your own movement between these two. There's a lot of opportunity in this practice to find your own breath. We inhale, hips forward. Exhale, hips back. Slow is better. Notice where your eyes go on swan. Can you look up at the ceiling? Giving your neck a stretch and bringing the forehead to the floor, letting your belly come between your thighs on the child pose. One more time, and then meet me and the child. And hold. Let's open those shoulders by taking the right hand and sliding it under the left shoulder. This is going to be very passive. If you want, no, I just want you to stay here passive with that left hand reaching forward. Finding the breath. When you twist, switch sides, right hand reaches forward, left hand under, left ear to the mat. And then come on back to child's. And then come back up to all fours. Move your knees back under your hips. Kind of rearrange your all fours. Tuck your toes. And meet me back in downward dog. Your shoulders should feel a little more open. Go ahead and glance up between those thumbs. Walk, step, or jump to that spot. Find your forward fold. This time bend your knees and wrap your arms around your legs. And then see if your hips want to wag side to side or reach up and down. Giving yourself that hug in this forward fold. Release your hands. And let's reverse one dive, come all the way up. And then hands through the middle. And meet me in mountain pose, hands by the side. Long, tall spine. And like I said, I'm not going to put in a bunch of chaturangas and vinyasas in this practice, so let's go ahead and step right foot back and meet me in warrior one. Find your warrior one. Hands up. Hips down. Knee tracks straight ahead. Back leg engaged. Now using that pursed lips, blowing out a candle, I want you to go as you blow out and reach your hands back and shift your chest forward. So you create this long 45-degree. Hands back up. And then cactus the arms. Hands back up and straighten that left leg. And then drop the left hand and give it a stretch here. A little different, throwing things in. Hands back up, back to our warrior one. And then let's step forward. You can hear my brain taking them out. It's not easy. So we first find the position of our warrior one. Then with an exhale, shift forward and hold. And hands come back up, and we open that heart cactus, arms a little back, bend in our warrior one. And hands come back up. Then we straighten that right leg, drop the right hand and give it a stretch. Really reaching that left hand over the head, opening up those side ribs. Opening up that psoas. Come back up, both hands up, back to our warrior one. And then let's come back a step forward. Beautiful. Let's sit down in our chair and come up. And there's that. Again, it's like we're moving our hands through thick air. Inhale, sit back, and then exhale through the lips. Inhale, through the nose, sit back. Keep going. Familiar positions, but just slowing them down and moving with breath. One more wherever you are. Well done. Let's go ahead. We'll use that flow we just created and move through it a few times. So inhale, step back with the right foot, warrior one. Exhale, chest forward. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, hands up. Drop the right hand, no, drop the left hand and stretch. Stay forward, back up, back to warrior one, and step forward. Left hand, footsteps back, warrior one. Chest forward, hands back up, cactus the arms, hands up, drop the right hand, stretch, hands up, back to the top, prayer hands, step back right foot, warrior one, chest forward, hands back, warrior one, cactus the arms, back bend, hands up, drop the left, straighten the left leg, back to warrior one, step forward, so hard not to chaturanga there, left foot back, hands up, chest forward, back to warrior one, cactus the arms, hands up, straighten the leg, right hand down, feel the stretch. Oh, wait, warrior one, step forward. Well done, right foot back. Warrior one, chest forward. Warrior one, cactus arms. Hands up, straighten the leg, drop the left and find the stretch. Hands back up, warrior one, step forward. Left foot back. Hands up, warrior one, chest forward, hands up, cactus the hand, hands up, straighten the leg, drop the right hand, flow pattern. We're going to step back, right foot, but stay on the ball of the foot this time. So we're in high lunge, hands up. And then I just want you to, we're going to swing our hands, come through the center. Notice I lift on this heel and come to the back to high lunge. So we go whoosh, and just nail those poses. It's kind of a different way to go side to side without our chaturangas. Nice and slow, because you're doing a lot here with your feet, and you don't have to be with me at all. And next time you're at the front, stay, and then turn to the long side of the mat. Straighten your legs, parallel your feet. So we come in, we're going to do a wide angle forward fold here, hands on hips. Let's see, which variation shall we do? Let's go ahead and forward fold at the hips, hands on hips, hands on hips, hands on hips. Hinging right there at that hip joint. Crown of the head points down. Then place your hands down and see about walking the hands back. And let's turn our fingertips away from us. So that's not the usual way I teach it. Doing different things, and then we're going to first start by holding. And then we're going to bend the right knee, but only lower the hip as far as the knee, back to the middle, and then the left knee again. Only lowering the hips as long as the knee, and I'm holding my hands in the same spot, if possible. So we shift right, middle, left, middle, right, middle, left, middle. Again, you find your own rhythm. Little different. I'm finding my right elbow and right knee when I bend at the same time, left elbow and left knee when I bend at the same time. And then meet me in the middle. Walk your hands forward till they're right under your head. Put the left hand in the middle. Reach the right hand up for the twist. And then you can bring that right hand around and grab the left thigh and bring the left hand to the right ankle if you want a bigger twist. Otherwise, stay where we were. And then slowly switch side. Right hand come to the earth, left hand up. Again, if you want a bigger twist, that left hand drops and grabs the right thigh, and the right hand shifts to left ankle. Come back to the middle. This is a great place to offer a headstand, so I'm going to, because I know some of them you do headstand. So come to your forearms. Walk your legs out if you need to. Then interlace your fingers. Forearms are parallel. Place the back of your head into those palms, and then we're going to come up. All the way to headstand. Now you can stay in that forearms down, wide angle forward fold, or any other variation of forward fold you like right there. Wide angle forward fold, because there are a lot of them. If you're in headstand, come back to the V and see how slow you can come back down to that position. Then lift the chest, and we're going to come on back up. Nicely done. Okay, let's come back to the top of our mat. it simple today. I think last week we did some challenging balancing pose. We're going to stay with our classic tree pose. So turning your knee out, you can keep the toe down or bring that sole of the foot as high as possible on the left inner thigh. And let's find a focal point. Bring our hands to our heart. Woo. Find that stability. Find the breath. Channel trees that are letting go. So if you want to grow those limbs and wiggle the fingers, just shake off the leaves. Woo, maybe you have a big breeze. Be playful. Then meet me back to prayer hands. Set that foot down and we'll switch sides. Placing the left foot where it's going to work for you. Starting at prayer hands, it's a good centering by pushing our palms together. Grounding through that right foot. And then grow the branches and leaves of your trees and wiggle your fingers. See if there's a breeze on this side. So here in Florida last night it got to like 33 degrees or something. And super breezy. So I'm hoping all my fruit trees survived. Hands back through heart. Praying for the fruit trees. And then set that foot down. Nicely done. Just a little simple balancing. I'm going to do some long holds. So back to the top of your mat, we're going to step that right foot back. Coming into that warrior one. We're going to do our little routine again. Chest forward, hands back, hands up, open heart. Straighten leg. Drop the left hand. And then meet me back to warrior one. But this time we're going to bring our hands down. Lower our hips and pop that right heel up. So here we are in runner's lunge. Now we're going to bring the left hand inside the left foot and wiggle that left foot out. You can stay right here. So lots of variations. You can put a knee down because you're still getting this stretch, which is what we're working on. Or keep it up. And if you want more, you can come to your forearms. Whichever you come to, we're going to stay there and hold it for a little while. So you might have to switch if you're like, oh, I didn't know she was going to hold it so long. So you might say, I'm putting my knee down after all. That's fine because you're still getting this big hip opening. Your choice. If your knee wasn't down already, let's put it down. Release the top of the foot. Come back up to your forearms. And we're going to shift our hips back. Stretching out over this left leg. And then I'm going to get ready by grabbing my blocks to have on either side of the mat. Because you can stay right here with the stretch here, or you might want to see if you can slide that foot forward and come into a splits. Actually, I'm going to use my blocks underneath to support. The other option is to have them on either side and use your arms to support if you're experimenting with all the way flat on the ground because you're so flexible. Then you can forward fold over this left leg in splits. Again, we're going to hold it longer than you think. Go, if you're in splits, start coming out. Feel your hips get over your knee. Then shift forward, back to lunge. So the hips just moved back forward. And then we're walking this left foot and setting it down for pigeon. But before we go into full pigeon, place your hands in front of that thigh and turn your toes down. And I'm going to give you this option. You would lift the hips and come into a downward dog and then lower. We're lowering them and lifting them. So you might look at the screen to see what the heck is she doing. I don't even know what to call these. Pigeon push-ups, pigeon to a variation of three-legged dog, I'm not sure. But do 5 to 10, 3, do 1, do none. And then we're going to come into our pigeon. Release the top of that foot again. And then we'll lay our pigeon down. This is another great place if you have a bolster. Just set it in front and just melt into the bolster. You can also use blocks. Big hip opening. Told you we were working on some hip opening and psoas opening. Some yin poses where we hold them longer. Actually, and again, practice the hold them 3 to 5 minutes. I haven't taught a yin class in a while. Each pose is held 3 to 5 minutes. That's way longer than you realize. Maybe you do Kaiut with Mary so you have a better sense of it. Stay for a few more breaths. And then slowly lift the chest, place the hands, tuck the back toe, and let's find our way back to downward dog actually. Lift the heels, set them down, lift the heels, and set them down, and then walk the feet to the top of the mat. Seeing if you have a little more stretch in your forward fold. Lower the hips, come up to chair, and push the hands down to standing. So now, step back with the left foot, warrior one, hands up, then just forward, warrior one, cactus the arms back, bend, hands up, straighten that right leg, drop the right hand, feel that stretch, hands back up, warrior one, pop the left heels, and come down to high lunge, walk the right foot over, bring the hands on the inside, stay here, because remember we're going to hold this stretch keeping that in mind, decide where you're going. Coming to forearms, or staying on our hands, keeping that leg up, or setting it down, or going between the two. Keep staying. I told you, longer than you thought. Then you can set that knee down if it's not already at the top of the foot. Come back up to our hands and then shift our hips back, stretching out over this right leg. And then if you'd like to do splits, go ahead and do some supported splits. Again, you can use your blocks to the side or place one underneath. Support it, and then if you're all the way down, you can forward fold over this right leg. A little tighter on this side, so that's not going to happen for me. And then here, if you're in splits, come back with hip over knee. And then we're going to go ahead and come into walking the right foot to the left side, setting the knee down for pigeon. But remember, we started with those pigeon push-ups. I don't know what to call them, pigeon, the three-legged dog. So place the hand in front, fingertips spread wide in front of the knee and the foot. Tuck the left toes and then lift the hips and come up and set it down. And come up and set it down. So again, you can do 1, you can do none, you can do 3, you can do 5, you can do 10. And there's a natural breath of lifting the heart and then exhaling, lifting the hips. And when you've had enough, release the top of that left foot, come into your pigeon, and then rest your pigeon. Again, using your bolsters, blocks, or stacked hands to find a resting position to hold it. Keep staying. Or if you're doing a recording, you're like, did the video stop? No. Stay with it. Finding the breath. And then lift the heart, the head, And this time we're just going to swing that left foot around. And we're going to come in to a seated position, legs stretched out in front of us. And actually, if you want, this is more of a slow flow, you can put a bolster under your knees and then forward fold. So it's even more support. So I often, almost always say bend your knees, right? And then forward fold. But you might experiment with like, oh wow, with support, what does that feel like? Oh, I can really relax my upper body into the stretch. So just, you can also use a block in that spot. We're doing a little experimenting, because then we're going to hold that forward fold. A little longer than you expect. And then drag those fingers back up to seat it. These slow flow classes always surprise me, and I'm like, oh, look at that. Time just flies by going slow. We're not going to do more seated there. We're going to go ahead to our backs. Behind your way to your back. Rock your hips, circle your knees. Let's do this one on our backs to start with. We're going to lift both feet to the sky, so legs up the wall. And we're going to set the left one down, so the right one's still up. And then you can have hands by the sides or rest on your hips, because we're going to take the right leg out to the side, but we're going to keep that left hip on the earth. So sometimes I put my hand there and then lift it up and then cross it over and see where it can touch on the opposite side. When we do the twist, the right hip will come up. So just kind of tick-tocking, making that rainbow arch across, bring the right leg side to side. Side to side. And maybe it's not going to touch the earth. Maybe your arc is up here. That's fine. We're finding hip mobility. So tick-tocking the leg, and then we'll do one more. And then when it's across the body, we're going to hold there, stretch out that right arm, and find our twist. You can put a slight bend in the leg then, or not. So in this twist still, feeling nice stretch. Done so much with those hips. Deep sighs. Then we're going to lift the right foot again. And this time bring that left leg up to meet it. Let them bend the knees, squeeze them in. Rock side to side here before we switch sides. Then both heels up again. And this time the right leg gets still sat down and the left leg is up in the air. So wiggle over, and we'll hit the wall, and then we're going to reach the left leg out to the side, up, and across the body. So again, you find the rainbow tick-tock move. Long, slow breaths, don't hold your breath. You can always do this with knee bent too, like so. Should have probably said that earlier. But hopefully you've all been with me long enough to do and modify to make it work for you. One more. And then meet you with it across your body. Left arm spreads wide. Eyes gaze over there toward that left hand. Right hand can rest on the left leg. You can bend that left leg if need be, or if you want a bigger stretch, keep it long. And rest. A few more breaths here in the deep twist. And then bring that leg back up. Bring the right to meet it. Bend the knees. Let's meet in happy baby. Knees pull in toward the armpits. Soles of the feet to the sky. You're pulling on the outside edges of those feet. Pushing the whole of your back into the mat. And then stretch out through those heels. And bring them back in and stretch them out. And bring them back in. So we're doing happy baby to wide angle forward fold on our back. And bring knees together, ankles together, big toes together. Keep holding onto the outsides of the feet and lift your head and squeeze in. Hold tight, tight, tight. See how small you can be. And then we're going to release all the way down to Shavasana. And since we've been playing with the bolster, if you have that bolster out, you can put that under your knees or blocks. Whatever works for you for your Shavasana. Kind of like to feel the whole of the earth below me. Oh, and then let's let out one of those deep sighs. And as you close your eyes and relax your body, maybe take yourself back to that beautiful place that you took yourself at the beginning of this practice. Again, whether that's a real place you've been, a mountaintop, a beach, your favorite place on vacation, maybe the favorite place in your own yard, or maybe it's an imaginary place that you've created or seen. Yourself there. And let everything else go. I'll mind the time. into the belly. And I'll read our poem again as you feel the rise and fall of your breath. Maple trees and wind are blown gold, their radiant, rustling nature shouting change. The great transformation is upon them, and there is no going back to the green days of spring. There's only forward motion now, and yet there is neither resignation nor sadness in these leaves. They make such a celebration of their turning, burning with color and fervor, one last yes to life before the final letting go. So as you breathe with your hand on your heart and your belly, let's bring to mind some things that you want to consciously let go of. Maybe you can imagine them blowing away in the wind or burning up in fire, just letting it go, letting some element in nature take it away. And then let's reach our hands over the head. Oh, give it a big stretch here in like a stick bug position. Roll to your right side, rest your head on your upper arms, bring your knees toward your chest. Oh, coming into gratitude. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Thanks for the beautiful leaves, for the ability to let go, and for the multitude of other things that come to your mind. Go ahead and push yourself up to a comfortable seated position when you're ready. Meeting me here with our hands at our heart. Ending with those 3 breaths, much like we started. We inhale through the nose. And exhale an audible ah. You have 2 more chances to make some noise on your exhale. Whatever sound is fine. One more. That spirit in me, that light, honors that in every single one of you. Thanks for showing up for your practice, and namaste. And I'll see you in the next class, whether you're clicking that as a recording or showing up live. See you then.